Hi, everybody.
Hi, how are y'all? We're just two little gingers sitting over
two,
here having a podcast.
two little rednecks.
Oh, so
I know
uh,
why she's on quick. She wants to see the background. What up?
hmm oh, Bruce is on
What
fast
up,
tonight. What's up,
Bruce?
brother?
How you doing?
Glad to see you.
Yeah,
We had a lot of people commenting saying they wanted to watch tonight's show, so we'll see how it goes.
yeah.
Definitely can tell you this. So we'll go ahead and apologize for last week. Don't know what was going on with
You really
the
are.
um with the internet and all that with our guest last week, but it was definitely one of our best shows as far as like
Content.
content wise. You just can't understand it, even listen back to it. So eventually we will have him back on and kind of redo it because I
Show.
think it'll be a great show.
Look at Ray watching.
What's
What's up,
up,
brother?
Ray?
He wants to see that background too. He worked his ass off on this flooring.
Yeah,
So he's like, I got to see it.
great job, Ray. Looks good, buddy. What's
What's
up,
up,
Kobe?
Kobe? We got some people we ain't seen them. I got
I
Vidine.
know. I
Great
know. We got
great dot dick repair.
everybody wanting to see our guest tonight.
That's what it is. We got one of
All
the best.
7 viewers want to see our guest tonight.
Oh, it's going up. We're up to 11.
There it is. Oh, it's
What up,
good,
Mr.
man.
B Nard? Armaggio.
Armaggio.
Hey, look. Wait, where's that? Look, looky there. Get a grip. I can do that again. I'm in the shop.
Yep. So anyway, we'll get right to it.
He's using my dial up from the 80. Yeah, you. I think he was on that too.
Look, yours
Thanks,
was
brother.
better than it was last week. I think he was having some issues and he didn't notice.
Yeah,
he was, but anyway, we definitely want to get him back on and
absolutely
kind of redo the show because I think it'll be great.
Oh, for sure.
So anyway, let's move on to our guest. We'll go ahead and get him on tonight.
And he's got good internet now. We used to be on 20 group calls, and and I'm like, oh man, I hope he's got better internet, and he does. We've been doing a trial run before, so I'm excited about that.
He said he's hooked straight into the internet, so it sounded good beforehand.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we got Mr. Tom Hanks here from we were lucky enough to get him on the show. And if any of y'all seen his photos here lately, he does kind of resemble Tom Hanks now. So
he's the wish Tom Hanks.
just like Andy's like Matt Moore off Wish.
Off Wish, yep. Hey, anyway, I'm stepping my game up though. Like I'm getting to Matt Moore level. Let's go.
Yes, definitely are. I've got a long ways to go to make my shop look like yours. What's up, Facebook user?
We're proud of it.
Yeah, it looks good. I can't wait to see it in November, and we're gonna have a great time up there. I'm hoping Mandy can come with me.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I would love for Mandy to come too.
Yeah,
hang out.
But we got things to kind of figure out here before.
Understood.
Yeah.
Sharing.
Anyway, so without further ado, Mr. John Krug, what's up, brother?
I know you are. Thank God. I'd be like, nope, turn the show off. What are you
doing? Well, what's up, everyone? How you doing?
Doing great. How are you doing, brother?
We're good, man. We're good. Happy to be here. I feel like a celebrity now. I'm on the Ginger Rose show.
Yep.
Hey, we'll make you famous.
We'll make you 15 people more famous.
Life will never be the same after this.
We'll make you famous for an hour, and then once we end it, you're back to normal.
I'll take it. I'll take my hour of fame. How's that?
Yes.
Real quick,
hey, longer
Josh, it was good seeing you in Pittsburgh, brother.
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed that. I was glad he was able to make it. We was all there, all three of us. So that was awesome.
He's coming down to your meetup.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He better.
Right. He is now. I don't know Pat, but Pat knows you.
That's a good friend of mine. He saw it on. He said, "How do I log on?" I said, "Look up the Ginger Bros."
Yeah. StreamYard. He clicked the StreamYard link first time viewer, and
he did it right.
And as they say about text messaging, he screamed it at you. I know him.
And he is not a dent guy. See, and he figured it out. What does that tell you?
Oh yeah.
Well, congratulations on finding us, Pat, and we hope you like getting to know your buddy here.
I like this. I just realized we got the DBAP up. I just noticed. I was like, wait a minute.
I put it up there just to see if I sent a picture to Kevin earlier. He's like, oh yeah,
I love it.
What is that? Don't be Andy Patrick, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's why it's on his side over there.
Yeah. Don't be me. The world only needs one of me.
Yeah.
So let's we'll get started by like we do everybody else, John, and we'll get just kind of give us a rundown of how you got started with PDR up to where you are now, So take it away.
So all right. So
back in 1976.
77. You're off by a year. I was 3.
I was -2.
I was just out of the womb, come out with a dent tool in my hand. No. So before this, I was a Mac Tools distributor. Anybody knows
really?
Mac Tools? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, weren't good enough to be a Snap-on, huh?
I was not Snap-on. I was second best. Snap-on's up here, and then the rest of us was Mac and Macco, and we were,
Yeah.
So I could tell you some stories about the local Snap-on dealer. Him and I mean, we damn near had a fist fight in one of the shops.
That's awesome.
He's still a prick. I still see him floating around, and I run into him in some shops, and he says, he's so condescending. He'll be like, "Oh well, I'm glad to see you. I hear good things about you. I hear you're pretty good at this thing you do. It's nice you finally found your niche." Oh yeah. I'm like, asshole.
Yeah.
But so anyway, with Mac, I was on the Mac truck and they kept getting sold. They were bought by Stanley and they were back and forth. So they fired the president and they hired this guy named John Aiden, and he was previously the president of Frito-Lay potato chips. So he came in to run the tool company and he kind of ran it like it was a potato chip company, and I just wasn't happy.
And now he works for Dent Wizard.
He might. So,
is that who came in to run Dent Wizard?
It's very, very possible.
It's potato chips, they do go bad, so the older ones they do get rid of.
He said root sales was root sales. Didn't matter what you were selling off the truck. And that was his theory. So he's long gone, but
absolutely.
So he made a lot of changes to the company, and I just wasn't super happy where I was. So I was looking for something else. And back then, the Dent Wizard actually had commercials on the radio. And I did not, paintless dent repair the dent. I remember hearing them, and I'm like, how do you fix the dent without painting it? That's impossible. So I saw, and I'll never forget, it was a Pontiac dealership. I was in the body shop, and I saw this Dent Wizard guy. That's actually when I first got introduced to it. And he fixed his sliding door on this, I don't know, it was a Pontiac, whatever their minivan was, right? Blasted a big old 3/4-inch hole in the door, But again, back then, that's kind of how we all did it back in the beginning, right?
Absolutely.
There's still several that do it now. So.
Yeah. Listen, I still own a drill. It's still in my, I'm not saying it gets used much, but
it's a polisher. It's not
you polish drill, with
John. It's a polisher.
Speaking of drilling, hey, what's up, Rob Abbey?
You are definitely not polishing what a unibit. But anyway. So I remember he poked the shit out of this door. And I remember I guess everybody, we still get it, right? People are like, "Oh, I'm so fascinated with what you do." And so I was that guy, right? I'm like, "What are you doing?" So he's like, "Oh, I'm fixing the dent." And I came in kind of at the end of it. And I'm like, "When are you going to fix it?" Right? So he's, told me what he does. And, it looks a lot better. You should have seen it before. And I don't know any better. I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever." So I start, wow, that's kind of neat. I might want to do that. So went home, kind of looked it up on the old interweb there, and it started. You know the whole thing, right? You do a $75 repair, you do X number of repairs a day times 5 days a week, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna be a millionaire. This is easy. So
access facilitator.
But so yeah, I just, like I said, went and got some training, flew out to California. My claim to fame is I trained at Right Look. And anybody that doesn't know Right Look, That's where Bryce Kelly trained.
Oh,
Just putting that right out there right now.
okay.
So we had the same trainer, a guy named Michael Bates. And,
so what happened?
That's what I want to know. I keep asking Bryce. I'm like, where did you train? That what did I miss in class?
I must have been sick that day.
That's it. Listen, I like to think I can fix a dent, and I always think I can until I see Bryce, and then like all of us, we just want to throw our tools in the garbage.
Yeah,
like
that's just the brain, man. That's that brain and just the creativity behind preparing the dents for him. That ain't nothing you can train.
Yeah, there's definitely, he did not get that from the training. I'm not saying our training is bad. It was 2 weeks, and you can't learn this in 2 weeks. I was like everybody else. I'm going away for 2 weeks to San Diego, beautiful sunny California, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to make 6 figures a year like that, right?
Yeah,
that's how we do it, right?
Absolutely.
So
how long that worked out for you?
Yeah, lots of hot dogs and beans. Lots of,
ramen noodles.
Yeah.
I mean, I was still on the tool truck at the time, so I took a couple weeks vacation, went and did that. So when I came back, I didn't go right into fixing dents. You know what I mean? I got an old car door and an old hood, threw it in the garage, and I would bang a dent in it and try to fix it. And after I fudged that one all up, and then I'd bang another dent and I'd try to fix that one. And then once you got where you could actually fix one of those, you know how it goes. Your sister's car has a dent. It's like, hey, you want me to fix that for you? Well, it looks better, I think.
Hey, I fixed a dent in my sister's car and charged her $250 for it, and I ain't heard the end of it in 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and not from her, from her husband.
Oh yeah, naturally.
There you go. From the
brother, charge your sister.
He'll charge you. I know. Same dent be like $1,500 now.
Right.
Jack, Jack just Snapchatted me and he's like commenting too, like, how'd you do that?
Yeah. Hey, so real quick, we've got several people that clicked on since we started. So Frank Sell, our last week's.
Matt.
Yeah. So we'll get. Hey, Frank, we're gonna get you back on once you get your internet fixed. Yeah. Mama is on here.
Yeah, I'm saying hi. I'm glad y'all made it back safe. She was up hanging out, and they went back down to your neck of the woods. So
yeah, Matt Myers. Matt, are you coming to Andy's?
Oh yeah, he's here.
Good.
He's like driving distance, right? Matt's how close?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I had the hailstorm, he would come up and help me with the hailstorm. And at first, he got this bright idea that he was going to drive up in the morning and drive back home. That lasted, I think, a day or two. He's like, I'm getting a hotel. I was like, that's a little longer than a normal drive. So yeah, definitely. So, but he did great work. I still want to brag about Matt. He, for no longer than he's been doing PDR a little while, but for what he's done, like he killed it here. So another little special shout out to that guy.
Yep. Definitely. Matt's good people.
Absolutely.
When I ain't seen him since MTU, so be good seeing him again.
You got a boogie?
I just, probably. I didn't want to pick it on here.
We live,
let me mute.
All right, sorry. We you know how we do. We get sidetracked.
That's how we do. So no, I mean that's pretty much. I mean, not a real. I went out and worked for every rock lot that would give me. And you know how it goes. Here, what can you do with that fender over there? You know what I mean? So it
wasn't ever the door dings.
No. It was the smash fender, and so I lived on hot dogs and beans for I don't know. I want to say by like year 3, I think I was making enough money to actually like pay the bills kind of comfortably.
Right.
Like no, not really a lot extra, but at least I mean I'll be honest. I remember I was new. And I came home one day and my wife's in tears, right? And I'm like, look, what happened? Did I do something wrong? What did I do? Right? And she hands me the mail. And we literally had a foreclosure letter on our house and a repossession letter on her van the same day.
Oh, shit.
Like literally, like she's like, maybe it's time for you to get a job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go get a real job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always saw, something that said, I'll work 100 hours a week for myself to avoid a 40-hour-a-week job for someone else or something like that. And for me, that was 100% true. So thankfully, I got really good friends. I borrowed a little bit of money from a friend of mine. And I said to her, I'm never going to be there again. And knock on wood, it's, you know what I mean? It wasn't easy, but I no more foreclosure letters, no more repossession letters. Like the bills, I figured out a way, you know what I mean, to make the bills work and get them paid. And, you know, it was just, like I said, by about year 3, I think is when I was really, but back then too, I feel like the learning curve, there was no social media, no Facebook.
Oh.
You were on an island, man. Like the other dent guys didn't want to talk to you. You know what I mean? Like you'd reach out to them and they're like, you know, basically F off, like you're my competition. There was none of this.
Right.
You know, so you were kind of totally on an island and trying to go out there and you're struggling to fix a dent and you don't know the business. So you're trying to pricing. There's no pricing structure. There's none of what we have now.
You just look at it and say, "Hey, it's about $250."
Yeah. Well, you know, how much can I get? You know what I mean? It's like it's 1 PM. I've knocked on 20 doors and I haven't a job yet. You know, how much? Like you tell me, what will you give me to fix it? Or
right.
Fix it? I'll take whatever you give me, because if I go home with no money again, my wife's gonna kick my ass.
Yeah. It's never a good feeling, like when you're in that situation, but being in a situation like that, but being able to control whether you can make more money like that and getting out there and hustling to do it. That's what, you know, it's one good thing about working for yourself or breaking out on your own and doing what we do is you control your income.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
You know,
and that 3 years, I think that's about standard. Like, I feel like that's the time you got to put in to get to where you're confident enough and making money. You know what I mean? Like, people think this is overnight success. There's a couple people, rare ones that's had kind of gotten there really quick. Like Corey Nichols is one that I always bring up. But for the most part, it's a grind until about that year 3, and then everything starts paying off. So
well, it's kind of like too. So many people I know started a business that worked in that business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even like if you were a dent wizard, right? They kind of helped you get going a little bit, but at least you or you know, gee, I worked for a contractor, now I started a contractor. I knew nothing about PDR, you know what I mean, other than what I found on the internet. I was just kind of intrigued. And the money, again, they dangle that carrot out there. You know, it looks like shit. I'm going to come home from training making 6 figures a year to start. You know what I mean? And of course, that's the stuff you sell.
I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah. My wife is like, "You're gonna what? You're just gonna fly to California to do what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, honey, trust me." And then, like I said, we're getting repossession letters and foreclosure letters, and she's like, "I'm trusting you," but she's like, "My trust, it's." You know, but I give her, like, love my wife to death. There was a few times, like I said, she was like, maybe it's time. She never told me, stop, go get an effing job. You know, the couple times she's like, maybe it's time. And I did take some side jobs. I actually drove limo for a while. I had a friend of mine, actually the friend that let me borrow the money, had a leather business. And during the holidays, he would open up a store in a local mall. And he's like, dude, I need security at my leather store. Like just somebody to go there and work, to watch my girls, because he always had, his wife and his sister and stuff that worked the store. And he's like, I'll pay you to just be at the store. You don't even have to do anything. Just kind of hang out in case, because a lot of his employees were females. And I think he just did it just to give me a paycheck.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? He used to like overpay me. And I'd be like, Kevin, you paid me too much. I didn't have that many hours. And he'd be like, no. I'll have now, I'll have Naomi look into it. And she'd be like, no, John, you're good. And I'm like, no, you overpaid me. So, yeah, I was pretty much convinced that, he did that just to, and so I did some of that stuff to, help pay the bills while I was trying to figure this out. And I'm just too stubborn to give up. I really am. Too stubborn, too stupid. I don't know which one, maybe a little bit of both. But I was like, no, I'm going to find a way to make this work.
Well, I shout out.
Go ahead.
Huge shout out to the wives, like you saying, like, Amanda was a big integral part of me getting away from Dent Wizard and starting my own business. Like, wives are huge, supportive wives are awesome to have in your corner when you're doing something like that. So that shout out to the wives.
Yeah, luckily I was learning this like pretty much on my own, but for a body shop. I got hired on for an in-house PDR crew, but when I made the decision that I've got to go out on my own because things aren't going to work out here. Luckily, my wife carried the insurance. So with me, it was like, I can go, and I can make this work. And it was kind of like that with her, but I didn't really tell her. I'd already put in my notice. And
oh god.
But she had that trust in me, and because she knew that I'm not going to fail. But I was told, I had a really good friend who kind of got me into this. He owns a striping business, pinstriping, and I went and rode with him one time, and he said, "Look, when you go out on your own, you start your own business." He said, "Them first 2 years," he said, "by the end of that second year, you're going to want to quit." He said, "If you make it through that, over that hump," and we all have seen that. Yeah, the majority of us have seen that them first 2 years. You think you're doing okay, and then you have your downs and that. Once you get over that hill, then it starts getting you start building that business up. So
I feel like if you go from mobile to retail, you kind of, once you hit that retail, you buy that shop, you kind of drop yourself down a couple rungs. You got to build them couple of years of people knowing where you're at too. So that's kind of what we're in right now.
You've seen that, Andy, and I saw it when I quit being mobile and I was strictly here. I lost accounts. I lost pretty much all my mobile accounts, or my wholesale accounts. That was the plan. I knew I was going to go down, but I'm going to, and it is by the first year I was here. It was slow because of COVID, and I went to Oklahoma to work a hailstorm, and while I'm out there, my wife's like, I can't. She worked as a teacher at a daycare. She's like, I can't do it anymore. I was like, look, quit, because when I get back, I need you here to help me. And we lost some benefits that she had, like tuition to where our kids go to school. We were getting 75% off there, and then her quitting, we had 3 kids going to private school that. But after a year, I was like, look at the numbers though. It may not look different, but the numbers are higher than the year before, and then the year before they're higher. And when you give 100% to your company, you will grow.
Speaking of, I got to turn the heat on in here. It's a little cold.
At least it's not going. Well, you got that nice new light back there, but it's LED.
Yeah, it ain't helping nothing.
Could you imagine if that thing was like halogen lights?
Hell no.
Your paint job on your truck would probably be melting right now.
I got the remote to the.
I'm just envisioning that whole thing, like crash. I'm like, who put that up, Andy?
You can't see it, but there's like 5 million little wires holding that thing up.
It's all fishing line. It'll
it'd be all right.
Between the light breaking and the square body, Andy would just heart attack. Just
probably.
done.
I'd be like, I'm selling the shop. I'm out.
We got a pervert on.
Oh yeah. Everybody's favorite Dyke.
Mr. Dyke. I'm just kidding. It was good hanging out with him.
My truck on. You gonna come see it, Josh? So tell us a little bit. So you got through that. Now you're mobile. What's your wholesale to retail?
Well, I was almost exclusively wholesale for most of my career, which was by design. That's the way I wanted it. I didn't want to really do retail. Sometimes retail was kind of a headache. You know what I mean? Like the customer. Andy will probably. Oh, actually, no. You were in the first 20 group when we had our 20 group meeting before we joined the 2 groups, and literally, I'm talking about, they're talking about websites and social media, and I'm like, yeah, no, none of that. And Gene's like, wait, what? Like, you got a social media, like you have a Facebook and Instagram? And I'm like, not a business one, no. He goes, website? Nah, don't have that either. He's like, how do people find you? I'm like, they don't. I'm like, I got my wholesale accounts. They don't. I'm like cranking, like, if you find me, word of mouth. That was all I did was retail. And busy all day, every day. And then COVID hit. And, that was when it was like, holy shit, every Monday morning, I'm such a creature of habit. Like this girl that works in my Buick account, every Friday morning I'm there. And she said to me like a couple weeks ago, she goes, you work for yourself? I said, yeah. She goes, how do you get out of bed every day to come in without a boss making you come in? She's the receptionist there. And I'm like, because I'm an adult and like, I'm very like, I'm there at 7:00. Like if I roll in a 7:15 in my brain, I'm late, even though there's nobody that gives a shit, but I'm late. So every Monday morning I'm at my Subaru account. I go in there to be 25, 30 cars. And I can't do them all. I start with the late model certified pre-owns, and then late model off-brand, kind of work your way back. And now I'm going in there. There's 6 cars, no inventory, no new cars, and I got like 6 cars to do. And I'm like, holy shit, I got to do something. So called Lynn. Lynn built me a website, and I started. I'm like, I guess I got to start building the retail. And half my problem with retail is I wasn't charging enough money. You know what I mean? So I really, decided again with the 20 group, and, once you start getting feedback from other people, I'm talking to other guys about prices. And of course we got the Paul Corden price guide and Mobile Tech. And once I started getting the money for it, I'm kind of like, I kind of like this retail thing.
It's nice, ain't it?
Like, you know what I mean? Like if I can go in and I can do this dent, this big dent, this nasty dent, this ugly dent. But if it takes me all day, that's a beautiful thing, because I'm getting paid a day's pay to do it. You know what I mean?
Yes, the retail price is the same as wholesale, right? In your world.
Yeah, right. So now, like I said, I guess what the question here is, I'm probably pretty close to 50-50 now. You know what I mean? I've cut back. Some of my wholesale accounts are a little bit upset at times, because I'm like, hey, sorry, I got to go, man. I got a juicy retail job waiting for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm kind of about 50-50 at this point, retail and wholesale. I've been kind of firing accounts over the last couple of years, since I started doing this, like the accounts, like I had one body shop, and this guy was just a raging asshole. Dan Rikiki did some hail for him because he kept overstocked me with hail. He's like, I show up and we'd schedule 1 or 2 cars. There's 10 there.
Oh, God.
Like, I can't do all these. You just got to stay till they're done. I'm like, no. So he actually called Dan. I finally one day, I'm like, you got to call somebody. I don't know how he got a hold of Dan. That's actually how I met Dan.
Really?
He told me who he used, and Dan's about 3.5 hours west of me. And then I knew the name, and then I met him at MTE one time. I'm like, you did cars for Jeff at Cliffs? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm Jeff's guy. And he's like,
not anymore.
Yeah. He goes, that dude's an asshole. And I'm like, yes, he is. So yeah, I recently fired him. I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, same thing. I come home, I'm all pissed off. I'm like kicking the dog. And it was on Thursdays because I was at Jeff's, and he just effed with me. He would just push my buttons. And my wife is like, why do you work for him? And I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, so now I've just really been weeding those people out, where I'm just like,
it's nice, ain't it? Where you can get rid of that, like you don't have to worry about, like, all right, cool, do whatever you gotta do.
Yeah. I mean, when I finally told him, I'm like, you need to call somebody else. And it was like maybe a week or 2 later, he texted me, he goes, you really don't want to do my work anymore? And I'm like, no, don't want to do it. You're really not going to do no, I'm not. See ya. So yeah, I mean, good problems to have, but the only downside, like the retail, that without a shop, I don't know how Bryce does some of those big smashes.
I don't either.
At the person's house.
Yeah. It blows my mind in their driveway. I'm like, how the hell?
I got some deals with some body shops and some dealerships that let me bring the car into their shop. And like I said, I got to give them a cut. But it's worth it on the big stuff. I'll just be like, hey, what day do you want to do it? You got to drop it off at this shop for the day. And the logistics can get a little bit confusing sometimes, you know what I mean? But that way they're not breathing down my neck. It's there. I can do it at my leisure. I just, you don't have the person, you're in their garage, and every 20 minutes they're peeking out the door. How's it going? How you making out?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good on that. So that's why my door from the waiting room in here has blinds. I can shut them bitches. I can lock the door. Like,
but I don't let anybody in the back of mine.
We've had people that's been curious about it, and like, you get a vibe from somebody, right? So they're curious. I'm like, yeah, sure, come on back. I'll show you what I'm doing. They love that. But there's some people that's like, red flag. Nah, you just stay up there and I'll handle this, and you'll be done in a minute.
I mean, I'm pretty used to people watching you at this point. I've been pushing 20 years. It doesn't typically bother me that much, but I always feel like I have to somehow engage with them. Like if I just sit there and push, I'm being rude.
Yeah, me too.
Having a conversation and then a 2-hour dent and turn to a 4-hour dent, because when you get in repair mode, you're just like, you're going at it. And when the person's there and they're watching and they're asking, or you're just making, so it's just, if I'm on that larger stuff, I just want to get in the zone. I want to, put my earbuds in, and I'm just in the zone, and I just like, leave me alone.
Right.
I'm just kind of going. So from that standpoint, it's kind of, not cool when, on the bigger stuff, when the customer wants to be an audience.
I was like, something slammed over here. It's like, I got ghost.
Yeah. John said, feel better than telling the asshole that you're not working for them anymore.
Yeah. That's what Steve Dyke was like. Feels good to fire a customer, deserves it. Absolutely.
Every
dude was a body guy. Everybody. We had a guy call the other day. Yeah, man, I spent this many years in body shop. Red flag. I don't want your business.
I used to do it, but I just ain't. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
I ain't got time to do it either, sir.
Yeah.
I had the one guy one time. It's literally like 12:30, and he's like, "Yeah, I'd fix it myself. I just don't have all those tools."
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to lunch. I'm going to leave my tool cart right here. Have at it, buddy. I'll come back from lunch and see how you made out.
Yeah.
No. You can. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I love calling bluff. Like when they start, all right, cool. Or then people's like, you bitch about your price. All right, we'll see you later then. Good luck. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't used to. And I was talking about this the other day with somebody. Like, when I started Dapper Deer Repair, I felt like I had to get every freaking job out there. Now I'm like, we'll see you later. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
My weakness is the little old lady. They play these Jedi mind tricks on you, and that little 85-year-old lady with the dent in her fender that should be like $800. I end up doing it for $200 every time.
Yep.
She's on a fixed income, and she only has so much money. And next thing you know, I'm just like, well, you know what? Let me pay you to do it. I'll tell you what. I will pay. So I always say them little old lady Jedi mind tricks because they're always so sweet.
Yeah.
They get you a cup of milk, a glass of milk, and it's like, I know.
I've had one that her husband had passed away, and this and that. It's like, you know all the buttons to push. You got me.
Yep.
Here, $50.
Yeah. I had a lady earlier that sent in an estimate request, and she's like, I've used you before, and you did great work, and this is my mom's car, and a little Honda CRV on the hatch. It's really
barely see it.
It's like a 5-inch, 6-inch dent. And so I sent her an estimate on it. She replies back, wow, thank you, but I think we're going to shop around. And I'm just like, that's up to you. I'm definitely not the cheapest, and there's cheaper guys out there, and I have to fix their stuff all the time. But hey, I understand if that's what you're looking for. Well, they're 80-something years old. They can't afford it. I'm like, hey, I get it.
Don't fix it. It's a dent.
Okay.
It's drivable.
Have a great afternoon.
When I get that wow back, I just my next response is, I know it's amazing. I can fix it for that little bit amount of money. You know what I mean? It's something of that money. Yeah. It's amazing that can be fixed for $800. I know. I'm always amazed myself.
I own the biggest auto shop in Dixon, and I think price is kind of high because I know how PDR works.
Well, that's like the adjuster for this weird insurance company. When she called, and her first words out of her mouth were,
"You got a gift fetish, my niece."
Fucking Johnny.
But she was like, "I'm an expert at PDR," and I'm like, "Hey," I just laughed out loud,
right. And
I said, "Okay, well, my tools are here. You're more than welcome to come show me how to do it." Oh no! I'm 54 years old. I don't push or pop dents out anymore.
Pop.
Okay.
When they use the word pop.
She don't pop. Yeah.
Always red flag.
Red flag.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Popped out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I know what this comment. It might be Amanda. Like it might not log her back in. We had a guy that owns an auto repair shop over Mechanic, and he was throwing his weight around like, you know who I am. I couldn't get him in for a month or so. I'm like, all right, cool, man. Please, by all means, leave us alone. Go in your own little world. Bitch about the price, but he still wanted to get in the next day. He was like, no.
There's other dent guys around.
Absolutely. Let them chew it up. I don't give a shit.
And then I won't fix it. Then your body shop can fix it when they get done.
Yeah. Yep, that has happened. That has to be Amanda.
She's incognito. She purposely signed in.
He's like, ain't nobody gonna screenshot this shit. Well, do you ever think you'll end up getting a shop, or you think you still stay mobile? Oh, it's Mom.
No,
She knew what's up too.
No, I could probably see a shop in my future. My oldest just graduated college. He's 22. And then my middle daughter's 20 and my youngest is a senior in high school. So I kind of said, let me get them through college.
Yeah.
And then, I always, like you guys said, you open up that shop, you're going to take a little step back, you know what I mean? Until you get things set up and you kind of go different directions. So maybe once I get the kind of college thing kind of squared away with them, because I'll be 50 in February. So I'm looking to kind of slow down a little bit, kind of.
Yeah, there's definitely more cost, but you will make it up, But
Kobe says do it, so you got to do it now.
Yeah, and he put it in all. So he's
it's got to happen now. Well, especially like up in your area, like you got like 12 months on winter, so you might as well like have your warm place to work. And it's like Jesus Christ, I couldn't work up there. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
It's funny. I got one guy in the area, and him and I have become pretty good friends, and we bounce stuff back and forth. Like, you know what I mean? We get those idiot text messages and stuff, so we share them with each other. And every once in a while, we get the price shopper, and they'll literally like send him a picture, and he'll give him a quote, and then he'll send it and be like, "Look at this jackass." And then next thing you know, I get the same picture and the same. So we'll literally quote him like to the penny. You know what I mean? Because we're like, we use an industry standard software, blah, blah, blah. And like, we'll quote him to the penny and then he'll give us the same responses and he doesn't know. So we kind of mess around like that once in a while. But he busts my stones because he's older than I am. He's an ex-Dent Wizard tech and he works outside in the winter and I refuse to. I'm like, you know what? He tells me I'm soft. All my shops know you can find a spot inside for John or John stays home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I tell him my vagina gets chafed in the cold weather, stuff like that. But yeah, so I mean, there's definitely the shop is something that probably I've come close. Like I've looked at them and got the lease in my hand, and I'm just.
So where exactly are you?
Albany, New York, the capital of New York.
How far is that from Governor, New York?
Where?
Brandon just made it up.
No, I didn't. Governor, New York, or Governor, New York, whatever the hell it is.
I have no idea where that is.
Oh, so really? Oh, hell. It's the home of the Lifesavers.
The home of the Lifesavers.
Yeah, it's upstate New York somewhere.
G-Bat.
Which the upstate is like, there's a map, and I wish I had it. Because
right next to Santa Claus.
What everybody thinks is upstate, and then this map actually broke it down. Like they say everything. I say, "Oh, I'm upstate New York." I don't know.
Well, y'all Googling maps and shit. Governor, look, he spelt it. Josh Roberts spelt it for you. It's north about 3.5 hours.
North of John?
North of me or north of you, Josh?
I guess I'm gonna send him an invite. We'll just get him on the show too.
I'm looking. So
it's
okay. So it's about 3.5.
Should probably be in prison.
I mean,
it's spelled different than governor.
If it's like more than like 3.5 hours north of myself or Josh, then you're in Canada. Like it's on the Canadian border.
It's pretty much on the Canadian border.
Yeah,
but I've got friends that are from there and that I work with or used to work with and stuff. Anyway, it's pretty cool.
We got to get in John's personal life. We've made it to 6:40.
40 minutes. 40 minutes is usually what it is.
It really is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't think I have a personal life. I think we're doing pretty good. I mean,
you camp and everything. Y'all got the little camp spot for the summer and everything like that.
I mean, I used to have a personal life, and then I had kids and got a business. And then, I mean, all seriousness, like I'm at kind of that crossroads because with my kids being older now, you guys know if you have younger kids, your kids do become your personal life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when my son was little, and I'm kind of like an all-in type of guy. So I remember he wanted to play baseball when he was little. He's like 6-7 years old. So you sign him up for the local little league. And I show up, and the coach, who I know the guy now at this point, but his son's on the team, and he knows nothing about baseball. He literally like, I'm like, what are you doing? So actually, me and another one of my best friends today, but we met that way. We're looking at each other, and we found out pretty quickly. I love baseball. I know, Brandon, you're into baseball.
You're a big Mets fan, ain't you?
I'm Yankees fan. No Mets.
I know. I already know.
Yeah, you know that. So yeah, we kind of like mutiny kind of took over the team. You know what I mean? We kind of kicked the guy that was supposed to be the manager kind of like to the wayside. And next thing I'm on a board of directors for the little league. You know what I mean? And I'm like coaching and I'm running clinics. And so, I mean, I did that for probably 10 years. I'm doing fall ball. I got a travel team. You know what I mean? So, I'm like,
been there, done all that.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, they tried to get me to coach soccer because my daughters played soccer, which I don't know shit about soccer. I'm like, you don't want me, and they're like, oh yeah, we want you because these leagues are awesome, but they're always looking for volunteers,
right?
And, you know what I mean? So they're like, no, we like I think we're God like the leagues talk, and they're like, no, you need to come over here. We need like fundraising help. I'm doing fundraising.
Jeremy knows.
Jeremy knows about that soccer.
I'm like, listen, all I know is you kick the ball, you can't use your hands, you got to put it in the net. They're like, perfect, you can coach. No, I'm not coaching soccer. I don't know soccer. Trust me.
I know a lot of times they're mainly looking for just
M word. What M word?
People who are just good with kids, just good at just getting them involved, especially at a young age. But hey, I was the same way. The only reason. Like the head coach, when my son started at 5 years old playing baseball, he picked him because his name, Reed Schmitz. He's like, oh, he sounded like a baseball player. He said all I was thinking about was Mike Schmidt. And but we became great friends and coached the whole time together through those younger years and all-stars and travel ball and everything else. But last year baseball, man.
Yeah, I kind of, when my son, he played through until he was 15, and he wasn't a great player, and he knew that. There was no, you know what I mean? But he enjoyed playing, enjoyed being on the
that's
team.
That's all matters.
So after 15 was when the rec season kind of like, there really wasn't, you know what I mean? The rec kind of went by the wayside. So yeah, he didn't, you know what I mean? But I remember 15, that last baseball game where I was like, and he was my only son. I tried to get my younger daughter into softball, and my wife's like, you're going to be coaching girls softball. And at first I was like, yeah. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh, I know boys, right? I can talk to boys. And I'm like, and come to find out, I literally bought her a glove. I brought her out. I'm trying to throw the ball. And when you're little, right? They're trying to catch the underhand. I'm like, no, turn the glove over. And I throw her the ball and she hits it right in her face.
That's
it. Never again did she play softball. She's like, Dad, this is stupid. She's crying, hit her in the forehead. She's done. So I never did do the girls softball, but
that's what was funny with my son. When he was like 3, that's what I was doing. And then when it didn't take long, we're going overhand. Well, by the time he actually played when he got picked up that first year, and we go out to the first practice, all them kids are trying to catch the ball like this, and I'm like, as hard as I can to him, and he's like, wham, and throwing it back, and the coach is like, what? I'm like, yeah, I've been throwing it at him as hard as I could for a long time.
Here's bragging on you, John. He said the same golf team as he was MTE last winter. What a great guy to be around.
I played the worst round of golf I've ever played in my life.
He didn't talk about your game. He said he's a great guy.
You're a good guy.
I'm going to apologize. I'm going to apologize to Gary right now because I'm playing with David Haxton. Gary,
oh God!
And the fourth guy we had.
Was it PJ?
Was it PJ?
No,
Stevens?
he was. This guy could hit the ball though, and he you could tell he kind of wanted to win this tournament, and it was, I don't know if Gary remembers who the fourth was. And after about 3 or 4 holes, I looked at him. I'm like, dude, I'm going to apologize. I swear to God, I have played this game before. It was the worst round of golf I've probably ever played in my life.
And by the way, can I get another sleeve of balls? Mine's in the woods.
Yeah, it was a good time, though. No, we had fun up there playing with those guys.
That's awesome.
Ray Safety wanted the course. Ray and his group.
Yeah.
Those guys are.
We're always busy with the 20 group meetings and stuff to play the golf. We might get to play this year. I don't know. We ain't figured it out yet.
Yeah, we're going down Sunday. Wife and I are escaping early, but Gaylord had no rooms before Wednesday night,
Mm-hmm.
So we're staying up.
No, they do.
You got to call.
$572 a night plus fees.
Holy Christ! So my wife actually, she booked our MTE room. She calls up because she wants.
Yeah,
that's
right. She was talking about that.
She wants the balcony. She's like, if you're sitting through seminars, it was funny. The year it was at Orange County Convention Center, it was at that little shithole place across the street, but she had a balcony room and the whole wall opened up. And it was actually a really cool room, so she liked that. So she's like, I want a balcony. And I'm like, honey, you call up, you get whatever you want. So she got
treat yourself.
And she said they had nothing available.
I called and said, hey, can I book Tuesday night? Because I knew you only get the MTU rate for Wednesday through. I was like, do you have a room available for Tuesday? He said, yeah. I said, how much is it? He's like, it's $572 plus $38 fee. I'm like,
I'll be there Wednesday.
No, thank you. I'll be there Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Or I'll be at the Motel 6 across the street.
We're getting 2 rooms. We got our room, and then we got one for Ray and his wife. So
yeah,
we're making it rain like hell money. Floors, 2 rooms, balling out of control.
Well, I mean the MTE rates, half that, so it's a lot better. But
let's talk about you. You mentioned your wife. We'll talk about your lovely wife Sherry. She's awesome. Yeah. How many kids you got?
She just came through. She's in her pajamas. You want me to turn the camera around? You want to see my wife in her pajamas?
She'll take out. We'll just see her jet off running.
Yep. She just ran back up the stairs. She kind of gave me a real dirty look.
How long have y'all been married, and how many kids you got again?
All right. So next year we'll be 25 years married.
Okay.
Awesome.
3 kids. My son is my oldest. Like I said, he's 22. Mm-hmm. My middle daughter is 20, and my youngest is 17. Just turned 17 last week. So,
awesome.
So yeah, there's light at the end of the tunnel. We're like almost done.
Almost.
Almost. Well, maybe not. They might live on for 35. I don't know.
Yeah. But, you ain't gonna complain about it.
No. It's actually funny because my son, like I said, he was away for college for 4 years, and there was times now the girls were older, and when my middle daughter got her license, they would go do things, and my wife and I just sit in the house and we're like, holy shit, like nobody's here.
What do we do?
What do we do?
What's your name again?
So,
hey girl.
No, it's my kids are. I know everybody thinks their kids are awesome, but my kids are the most awesome. I don't know if that's they say your kids give you back what you gave your parents. Not true. Yeah. I gave my parents a coronary. School wasn't for me. I used to skip school. I was out partying on the weekends. And, you know what I mean? I was not a great kid growing up. And actually, that's where the doctor came from, because my mom used to tell me all the time if I just applied myself, I could be a doctor or a lawyer. So I'm like, I'm a dent doctor. There you go. True story.
That's pretty good. I was the same way. I gave my mom and dad hell. I moved out my 18th birthday, still in high school, missing days. Mom had to come to summer school with me just to make sure I stayed at summer school to graduate, and it wasn't for me. Natalie, my daughter, she actually does good in school, good grades and honors and stuff, so I don't have to worry about that.
I agree with what you're saying there, John. Andy found out a little bit more about my high school years. But I was that way. I hate it. But like summer school, I went to summer school every year, and it was always about the teacher. I'd make A's in summer school, but couldn't do
I was homework. I was just like, no, I'm not doing homework.
I hated it. I hated school.
I was a solid C student, and that's what my mom, she's like, she goes, I never saw you do an ounce of homework. And she goes, I never saw you study. And somehow you're a C student. She goes, if you actually did your homework and actually studied, she goes, you'd be a straight A.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I have no wife then, Ma. Who's got time for all that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's why my kids are, and that's one of the reasons that I push my kids, and they've always been great. Now, hands-on, like ag, I loved ag, man. I could build stuff. I could, do all the. I was on the team. We'd go test soil and all that, and win competitions. I'd have the teacher walk in class like after competition and forking out money to me, what we had won, and it was pretty cool. But that's all hands-on stuff, just like what we do now.
And it's funny because my kids, like especially like my son, everybody's like, "Oh, is your son going to take over the business?" My son was always gifted. I mean, he was always light years ahead of all his. He graduated top of his class. He went to college with 31 college credits because he took all AP classes.
Yeah.
But he's not the hands-on, like, you know what I mean? Like, you get a gift, and his
Yeah.
gift was his brain, and he's extremely, and he'll go big places. But I was a hands-on kid like you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what the book says. Give me something to build. Give me something to fix. Something to do. That's what I want to do. So. You know, that's why this.
At least you chime in. Mom said I tested gifted and managed to lack a half a credit toward college path requirement. He's my genius. But I got this, so I'm good.
You're doing all right.
Yeah, I ain't stressed.
I mean, hey, I was lacking credits to graduate, and the principal pulled me in and was like, you know what? High school's just not for everybody. I thought, okay, so left. And the next Tuesday, took my GED, passed it with a 90-something, and I started working.
My thing with college is like, man, there's too much freedom in college. If I'm already missing this much school in high school, what the hell I'm gonna do in college?
I'm like the blemish on my mom's record. Like, I'm the only one of her. Like, my sisters, like my 3 sisters and my brother, they all got a college degree, and she's still, like, to this day, is always like, you could go back to night school and get a degree. I'm like, for what? Like, you get a degree to make money. Yeah. I do okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm no Bill Gates, but
like why do I want to pay money to just get a degree when I'm already doing?
I'm like, I'm just a blemish on your record, and you just, you know what I mean? So I guess I'm just gonna be the blemish. I'll stay the blemish. That's okay.
Yeah,
I'm good with
that. She made sure I got a high school diploma. I give her that. Yeah. She had to show up to make sure I got one.
I love it.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, I think we all have that little bit in our past.
So it is awesome. We were all assholes in high school, and our kids are the opposite.
Our kids are great.
Our kids are.
Thank you, Jesus.
I always say we're a different breed, not just self-employed entrepreneurs, but dent guys in general. And we're just a different breed, man. I think you have to be to do what we do.
I will say Bryson, stepson, he gives us a little issue in school. He's smart, very smart, autistic, but smart. I tell him all the time, like, you work harder to get away from work than just doing the work in the get-go. Like, come on, dude, just do it and get done with it.
My mom used to tell me I'd spend an hour trying to get out of something that would take me 5 minutes.
Yeah,
exactly. What I mean?
Yeah, same way.
Yeah,
I couldn't. That's what I tell my son when I joke around with my son and my dog. I'm like, y'all ain't the dumbest smart kid or the dumbest smart dog. When they do something stupid. But
so tell us about your you got a tight knit kind of group at your campsite where y'all go for the summer and everything.
Yep. The one guy Pat on here that commented, he's right across from us, and then we got like my brother-in-law and his wife and their kids are next to us, and then the other 2 on the other side of us. There's like 5 of us in a group, and then there's a whole bunch of other ones up there that kind of we have dinners together, and we have a good time. That's pretty much what I do during the summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This year I kind of season the camper. I pay to just keep it right there, and and like I said, kind of going all in. I'm like, I'm just gonna park it there for the year. We'll see if I like it, because we used to just tow in for the weekend, hook up, and then we have to unhook and bring it home. And this year, like, literally, I'm in there for like 38 seconds. I got a golf cart with big lifted tires on it.
Yeah.
I got a shed put over there for all my stuff. I got a 15 by 30 deck built off the camper. My buddy Pat's like, just gonna dip your toe in the water.
Yeah, all in immediately.
That's it. I'm just like, I think I'm gonna build this over there. So
that's how Jeremy Nadeau is. I mean,
he's got his built in and everything.
Yeah,
I do want to give you props for that because you was doing 75 hard when y'all were kind of getting back in the going. I mean, you worked out all summer and everything, and that's where you throw back some beers, eat some good food, and you had to really battle with that. So I applaud you for that battle.
Don't applaud me too much because we literally our first weekend at camp was the weekend 75 hard ended.
Oh, nice!
It just worked out that way. It was like literally because it was like that Friday night was when it ended, and technically it didn't end till Saturday. So it was like the first weekend of camp. And, we throw some beers down and so it was funny. So my wife and I end up walking, like we got to get our last workout in. So we went up to camp and we walked the campsite for 45 minutes. And I come back, and my buddy Pat, his site's 282, where everybody kind of congregates on his site. That's where all the cool stuff happens. And we come back, and everybody's congregating. They're like cheering. They're like, yeah! Like it was Earth on, because
awesome.
They all know, like my buddy Pat, my buddy Scat, we're the beer drinkers. We go over his garage. We've nicknamed the Temple. That's where we watch football. And the big fridge full of beer. So same thing, he's having Super Bowl party, Daytona party, and I'm over there with my, his wife puts on amazing food. She's just all sorts of wings and all, you name it. And I'm over there with my veggie tray and my bottle of water. You know what I mean?
Hating life.
And some of the people coming into the party that didn't know, they're like, "What's wrong with John? He's sitting over there with his vegetables and water. There's chicken wings and pizza and beer." And I'm like, they're like, "Yeah, don't just leave him alone." I'm like pouting in the corner, eating my vegetables and my water.
Wow. I definitely applaud you and Sherry. You guys kicked ass and are still kicking ass. You both look fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel good, man. I appreciate, I think Brandon knew, because I kind of commented on your post that one time. I'm like, maybe I do it. And Brandon was like, "Nope, you're in."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he rolled out.
And then I ended up backing out that, during that time, but I've got to do something again. I felt so great back then, and back to feeling like crap again. And
Jack said that sounds difficult AF, the whole
I know.
Veggies while you're eating chicken and all that.
Jack stays skinny. He don't need to do this crap.
Yeah.
Jack's a medium. He don't need.
No.
All he
eats more than all three of us combined. How do you do it?
No, man, we had that group coming, and like I said, I wasn't going to be that person that was like, "Hey guys, I failed." You know what I mean? I just wasn't going to do it. And same thing, I told the wife I was going to do it. And first she thought kind of crazy. And she's like, you want to try what? So I kind of tell her the out. And she's like, "Well, I'll do it with you." I'm like, "Really?"
That's awesome.
So that helped. I mean, honestly, if she didn't do it with me, I don't think I would have made it.
Right.
Because when we had to walk, I mean, there was one night it was like 10 degrees.
I remember that, dude. I was like, wow.
And we're bundled up, and we did our 3 miles, and it was just miserable, but we were miserable together. What I mean? So at least you had some company. I don't know if I would have made it by myself or not. I really don't. But, I would push her the nights that she didn't, or the time I didn't want to, then she would push me. You know what I mean? So we kind of bounced it. And she does all the meal prep. So she made sure that we stayed within our diet. And it was good to see when the weight started falling off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It takes a little while, but it's just your body getting used to everything.
Well, it tricks you at first because you lose like water weight or whatever the hell it is. Like, all right, we're good. And it's like,
you're kind of playing off.
Hold on a minute.
It was frustrating. Like sometimes you would eat so good and you would work out like a madman. You get your 2 workouts in. The next day you step on the scale and you're like, "I went up 2 fucking pounds."
Yeah.
How is it I went up 2 pounds?
I'd run immediately to the toilet and try to poop it out. There's got to be something wrong with this.
You can get out. I mean, like you late in the evening, even after you do that workout, what you ate during the day, you like me, I would still be bloated. But by the time I wake up in the morning, then it'd be gone. And I'm like, okay, well, I can see my belly now. It's not just a belly hanging out there. It's just being bloated. And I think that was one of my biggest problems. But, I think everybody's different. Like, I thought I could do it with a group and help it. I was better doing it on my own.
If I wouldn't have had a group, I wouldn't have made it 2 days.
But I was better like me, because when I did it, I had to prove a point to myself. Now, I tried to start it again not too long ago. I got up one morning and I'm like, next morning, nope. So
I got in here and walked one morning, and my back was hurting when I got done. I was like, "Are you serious? Like, I can't even walk? Like, what the hell's going on?"
I found you had to make it your priority. Like, that had to be your priority. Like, getting your workouts, all that stuff, reading, like, that had to come first before anything else. And if you put anything else, like, I know, Brandon, you were traveling for baseball with your son, and, like, you're done. Like, that's I mean, I don't know how Bonnie did it being on the road, and that's
I don't either. She's great with it.
It literally had to be like first and foremost. Like, literally, we'd come home at night, I would eat my dinner, and it was like, we got to get our walk in. Like, we walked every night. That was our nighttime, was walk. And it's like, I don't care what we have to do. That's secondary. Like, we have to do this first. And
see, I had to get all my stuff done before I came home for the evening because I'm the type when I get home I shut her down. It's like get all this done and then get home and then I'm done. I might have to read my book or what. Most of the time I read first thing in the morning.
Yep.
But if I didn't, I could still get that in and that wasn't an issue. But everything workouts, yeah, I had to be done before I got home. And
walking was best for me early in the morning before the kids were getting up, and then doing everything else during the day, and then having a gym here at the shop that I could do my last one. And if I couldn't do it here, then I had bands and stuff that I do in the living room at the house, you know, or if I'm traveling to the camp or visit daughter, I take the bands and do that for my second workout. And that, I mean, that worked out great, but still, you know, I try to get everything done that I could here. But anyway, so yeah, if anybody's looking to do something to jumpstart you getting into shape and all that, 75 hard is really good because it will. If my shoulder hadn't gone out, I probably would have stayed with it for longer. But
don't call me for support like John and Jeff and a couple of them were talking in the 75 hard text group like we need to do it. I'm like, y'all have fun. I'm done with that shit. I will never do that again. I'm out. I might do some kind of workout, but not that. Like,
I kind of do like some mini, like if I feel like I'm kind of falling off track, I'll do like for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'll kind of set a goal and it's not quite as strict. Like I'll do like, all right, I have to do one workout every day. Because sometimes you kind of fall off that wagon. It's like, fuck, I haven't worked out in a week. You know what I mean? So I'll kind of do it's like, all right, for 2 weeks, I'm going to watch what I eat. I'm going to, get one workout in every single day. And, I still try to get my water in for the most part. I don't know if I drink a gallon every day, but I'm usually pretty close to it. I haven't read since 75 hard ended. I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? I'd like to say I'm a smart guy and continue to read.
I listen to more books than I read.
I've read a couple books
since then, but
like the Reacher series or whatever. It wasn't self-help, so
I don't know. It could be if something ever happened. You had to
Reacher.
But no, it's I think I've got to get back to doing something.
Yeah, you and Sherry and Bonnie by far the biggest transformation. Like you guys all crushed it.
And I always say this is almost harder than the 75 hard because trying to maintain because there's no finish line. So that's the idea, right? You're supposed to change your lifestyle. Man, I still like a big, tall, cold beer and a bunch of chicken wings. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to say I'm waiting for that time when, you're going to crave healthy food.
This guy.
You're not going to want the chicken wings. And I'm like, no, I still want the damn chicken wings. But I just
Josh, if you're going to do it, buddy, I'll do it with you.
I'll tell you who's not going to do it.
I would do it again. I think right after MTE was the perfect time for me because, I mean, there's never a perfect time,
Yeah.
But,
time to do that live hard, guys. I ain't, but you guys are up. Man Armio just says Matt Armio. I don't know what happened.
Oh man. Hey, we're over an hour, so
flew by, did it, John?
It always flies, absolutely.
It does. I love it.
So, well, we appreciate you coming on, brother. And I know we can sit here and talk forever, but we do try to keep it at an hour.
Well, I don't know how many people were on, but I apologize.
We had a
good never getting back.
We had a good bit, good constant.
I'm just so proud of you with your internet now, buddy. I'm
all right. Proud. So half of that was the cheap piece of shit computer I was on. Come to find out, I had this old laptop and I didn't think it would matter. But so part of it was that, and the other part, my internet blows. So
he didn't have an HP, he had a DP.
I got my son setting up his computer tonight, and I'm like, "Did you do a speed test? Do a speed test. Let's make sure." Because the first thing
he didn't have the Mac; he had the mac and cheese going on over here.
We didn't have the string between the two cans pulled tight enough.
So good. Yeah, he would try when we was in the 20 group together. When he was in the 20 group with us, and then Zoom calls, he would try to talk and be like, "Man, sorry, John, we ain't gonna be able to help you. I don't know what the hell you just said."
Yeah.
Gene would be like, "All right, so moving right along, we're going to somebody else."
Right. Congratulations, Josh. He's down 52 pounds in the last 6 months. That's awesome.
Was looking good.
Yeah,
he was looking good.
He was looking good.
It was great seeing.
Yeah, I was so happy to see him and Rakiki and you and everybody else. I love it. like I said, I'm jonesing with this. That's the first time we've got to do a Dent meet or be with Dent people this year. So I'm jonesing for our meetup in a couple of weeks, and then the MTE's on. We're excited.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, thanks for the invite. It was fun.
Hey,
absolutely.
Anytime, man. And everybody else watching and commenting, thank y'all. And we had some on that ain't been on in a while, so that was great.
Stephen's
on
that Vegas.
Somebody else has been making strides, working out. Is old Corey Nichols, man. If y'all ain't seen him,
dude,
I know me and Andy have seen him.
Yeah.
I don't know what I have to do to get like that, but I'm like, man, he posted that picture. And I'm like, what the hell has he been like 3 hours a day in the gym?
Live in Arkansas and have 3 hailstorms.
Yeah.
Like one of them hail cars he's doing or something. But man,
great to see you and hear you again, brother.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, man. Look forward to seeing you in MTE.
Yeah, he'd be here if you could make it, but you can't make it. So I think even Cliff's coming.
So listen, I kind of
dang, I can't keep up with it.
The wife said we had to choose between Gene's shop and your shop, and Gene won this year. I guess it was the last year in that shop.
I get it.
We got to go to Gene's. Yeah. Next year we're going to Dixon, Tennessee.
Come on down. We're going. So this plan's on being an every year event. With just the amount of toys we got last year, I got to do it every year.
That's amazing.
It was just a fun get together. You know, always is. Always is. All right, guys. We'll let you know about next week if we got a show or not, and go from there. But anyway, peace out.
Bye, everybody.